How does now work with women to ensure that their voices are heard, especially in terms of like contraceptives, because that's the main issue that I'm focusing on?
Well, what we do is we have someone who keeps track of legislation down there in Jeff City, and then puts the word out about the legislation to our various contacts to encourage women to contact their elected officials about the different forms of legislation. Also, if we, right now, the problem is that pharmacies in Missouri, there's that what's called the conscience clause in the law, where pharmacists, if they have a sincere belief that contraception is wrong, their employers are unable to make them fill that prescription when a woman comes in with that prescription. There are certain regulations where, like, they have to refer that person to somebody who would fill it, but a lot of times there are not maybe a lot, but there are times when that doesn't do any good. But if we find out about a situation where a particular pharmacy has consistently refused to follow the law, then we can take action by letting people know. And we can't really use the word boycott, but we educate, we provide consumers with information concerning businesses that refuse to follow the law, and we also put the law on when we can't, notify the appropriate authorities that a certain business is not following the law. But also what we do, as far as I think your question was, how do we work with women to ensure that our voices are heard about contraception? In addition to contacting the elected officials, we encourage, if women have the opportunity to write letters to the editor and word of mouth with their friends and coworkers, because a lot of people are not aware of the importance of these issues, and so there's a lot of educating in the general public that needs to be done. I mean, they're personally aware, let me put it this way, they're personally aware of their own need for birth control, but they may or may not have information about the larger legal and social framework in which that takes place.
Okay. So is the contraception issue, has it become bigger since that Hobby Lobby case, the Hobby Lobby ruling came out?
I don't know if it's gotten bigger. I mean, it was always pretty big. Because people didn't believe us when we were trying to educate people about our knowledge that the right wing was eventually moving in the direction of restricting and even banning birth control as well as abortion. And a lot of progressives who weren't explicitly feminists were being like, oh, well, you guys are just being alarmist. That's never going to happen. And then all of a sudden, here and there in different states, we started having these conscience clauses and such. And so we're like, look, this is happening. So for me, it's always been important. Yeah. I can't really say, oh, yeah, it's all of a sudden important now. I think more people are aware of it as far as it being an issue. Like I said, women who use birth control know how important it is for them, but they may not be consciously aware of how precarious their access. Like, that's a better way, I think, to phrase it. That of course, they're like, well, hey, this is important to me. I need it. But they don't understand the precariousness of their access to it until they run up against some of these restrictions. Like, they'll walk into a pharmacy and the new guy says, oh, no, not doing that. Sorry.
For the Hobby Lobby ruling, from what I read, and I could have misunderstood, I'm not sure how much I actually understand from it. But apparently they oppose only 4 out of the 18 different methods. I read that somewhere.
Yes, but the idea is that if the methods are the ones that work the best, that and it paying for them out of their pocket is going to be the most. It's like yeah, we'll allow to be covered the cheaper ones that don't work as good, cheaper ones that don't.